everybody. Welcome to the show. The 20 Sides to Every Story show, I guess. We're playing Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and this is episode 5. We are in Prismeer
Ooh.
now. Woohoo. Woohoo indeed. And yeah, so we're going to get started here in just a second. But first, we're going to let Dawson subscribe for 24 months in a row. 2 years, Daw. That's awesome. Thanks for
Wow.
supporting. That's awesome.
Thanks. Cool.
I remember when I first met Dawson. He won Dungeon of the Mad Mage during the Extra Life uh I think it was maybe our first 24-hour game. I want to say it was the first 24-hour game. And Dawson won the Dungeon of the Mad Mage giveaway and turned out he was a student at UWO, so it was really easy to get him the gift. So he came and found my office, and I gave it to him. So apparently it
Very
was
cool.
like maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. I don't. Time is elusive at this point. So thanks everyone for jumping in, checking us out. If this is your first time checking out the stream, welcome. Hope you enjoy your time here. We're a tabletop role-playing game channel community. Um, and we've got quite a bit of content that we try to stream I'll say most nights of the week. So definitely check out the channel schedule down below, or it's also probably a good idea to come and join us in our Discord. That's a good place to get info on what's coming up and what we got going on. A lot of 5e streams. We do on occasion do some video game stuff. This Thursday we're going to be playing help me out. What is it? Back
Back for
Back
blood.
for Blood. So that would be kind of fun. I think we kill zombies or something in that one, or get killed by the zombies. So yeah, that's what on Thursday nights we usually play some kind of horror-related video game. But other than that, it's mostly D&D and tabletop role-playing games and things like that. So definitely come and join us in the Discord if you'd like to come and hang out in between the streams. But um, that's maybe all I'm gonna say about that. So we can get ready, get going with the game here tonight. So last time when we were playing last week, our characters had just stepped into Prismeer and are getting acquainted with the first of what is basically a divided Prismeer that has been divided up by the three sisters of the Hourglass Coven. And so they've found themselves in Hither, which is kind of a swamp-like realm that is ruled over by a hag that many of the locals refer to as slack-jawed Lorna. Um, and you've met a few different characters now at this point. You have met the caretakers of a walking tavern slash inn, and you've been getting acquainted with the owner of said inn uh, fairly recently. Um, you have met some bandits who are in the employ of
Huzzah!
one Agden Longscarf, and one of those hair and gone hair folk tried to rob you and take your memories of your um, the feeling. It's sort of a strange thing to steal, but the feeling that you received when you were gifted your favorite gift from times past. None of you wanted to give that up, and you're all pretty tired and groggy and just a little ornery maybe, and so much that Lim Green uh, delivered quite the magic missile spell directly to the face, applied directly to the forehead of that rabbit folk, and he dead. And this was enough that all of the bandits were like, "We're not gonna mess with you," and they skedaddled. And giving you all like the chance basically to go back to this walking. I finally found the image, by the way, the walking inn with all those little feet at the bottom of its foundation. And so you went and enjoyed some of the hospitality um, of the tavern's owner, who goes by, I think her name was, oh, does anybody remember what her name was?
Sue.
Sue.
That's right, Sue.
Yes, Sue. Sue Harabacks. Um, so she has been feeding you, giving you kind of a place to stay. You took a rest there and have been kind of wandering around Prisma. You asked her some questions, and she shared with you that because you all kind of inquired about um, the ruler of the realm, and she told you that you'd be able to find her up in Downfall. Um, so she said that was a place where um, the denizens of that place are bullywugs, frog folk, and they all basically kind of live in fear of her and are kind of forced to serve her whims and such. So you're kind of questioning her, getting some information. Your ultimate goal here is to get your things. She also told you that things didn't weren't always so dreary and such, that they were much better back in the time when Sibylla, the former ruler of Prismere as a whole, something has happened to her. No one really knows exactly what. She's sort of been MIA. But in the midst of kind of the conversation and getting some information from her, you were kind of performing a bit and entertaining the few people inside the tavern. And there's like three of you that were on stage. Is that right? Looks like Lim was on there. Maple was attending to some drums. And was there a
Joe with the
third?
slam poetry.
Yeah, Arlo.
Arlo with the slam poetry about the sad tree.
Very sad tree.
Yeah, we never saw Gobo the Sad. There was some, you heard that name maybe briefly back at the carnival, but we never saw uh, Gobo. Um, so anyways, you guys were all performing, and while you were performing, a few characters had slipped into the tavern, including one um, rabbit folk looking person. And as you're looking around the tavern, you can see it's not just this one character, but there are actually six or so characters, kind of hooded. They've got little cutouts in the hoods for their ears to poke up through. But
Of course they do.
this one particular Harengon is the one that they all seem a little bit deferential to, and he kind of like throws back his cloak, and you can just see this big long blue scarf kind of roll out, kind of billows a little bit, and there's just sort of like this weird thing when that happens. There's sort of bagpipes that are playing like faintly on the air, and you can just hear like that song that you heard the brigand rabbits singing is kind of just like playing on loop in the air, and he looks um he's kind of narrowing his eyes right on you, Lim.
Mhm.
And he's holding in his hand this branding iron that sort of looks um like rabbit feet kind of triangulated together to create this kind of symbol.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
And he's just kind of like playing with it a little bit as he's kind of surveying the room. And he's, well, well, well. It sounds like, it looks like we've got a bit of entertainment happening. We've got
I'll
some
match him
music
a
playing.
little bit on the drums.
Oh,
I
wow.
do like a little, like an unsure shimmy. Like clearly I'm just like, try to pretend I don't know who you are, but I do.
And he's just he's twirling the branding iron, and he like starts to walk over, and he's like, my, don't stop on my account. I am a lover of music, of the arts. Um, I just feel as though that perhaps this tune is a little, um, maybe, not fitting for the occasion. Do you know any funerary tales or songs?
Yeah.
I watch intently. Hey,
I was
man.
telling
What's
a
your
really
business?
I was telling a really sad poem.
It's funny you say that. We were talking about sad trees who loses his friends. So yeah, okay, we've hit that tune already. How about something more livelier?
No,
Right?
I think you were right on point with the allegory about people losing things, because it seems that I have lost my cousin.
Oh.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about this, would you?
May I ask, is he also a Haringen?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Yay tall maybe would have tried to steal some memories or feelings from us.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah,
Him.
small rabbit, a little mean, magic missiles in his head. That guy.
Yes.
Lim Rectum.
I remember him.
Lim Rectum bad. You didn't know
Yeah.
that?
This one, he's pointing his branding iron
Yeah,
at Lim.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
overgrown
Lim is
hair,
this-
kind of devilish horns.
Yeah, dude.
Lim's
I
like shaking on the stage.
You're not like him, right? Right?
He was my cousin.
Well, I'm just saying, you could be family, but doesn't mean that he kind of was a little jumpy.
Jumpy, really? Oh my god.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
We're in
didn't
such
mean-
trouble, guys.
He
No,
It's a little late for him to learn his lesson, but maybe you could learn yours. Maybe is that a
that's
thing?
what I mean.
Fish.
Yeah, jeez.
Vish, you've got like a bag, like you got like a kind of a bag that you recently created.
Uh-huh.
His branding iron, he just like jabs it forward and like presses it into that bag, and it like singes that symbol into it. He's like, that is mine. Hand it over.
How do you keep that branding iron
Oh.
consistently hot?
What?
It's mine. Give it to me.
That doesn't make any sense.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
I'm gonna
I
Can I
mean
get a
that
little
bag.
closer
It's
to
got
him?
my symbol on it. It's mine. Hand it over.
Can I have your branding iron?
This is,
Hey, now that's not cool.
is this?
And I'm
she's gonna
slowly
just
reaching.
look at. She's gonna go like this and point to Sue. Go. Is this guy for real?
And she's just like, you can see she's like, oh no, you don't know what you're stepping in. And then like he's
That-
like looking at her, and he's like, and you, Sue, are you harboring these murderers? Well, for that. And he sticks the branding iron in the floor. And he's like, I'm taking your tavern. And she's like, no, no.
I can't wait to own that branding iron. That is my branding iron very soon. I cannot wait to own it. I'm already reaching for my battle axe. Like this, that's gonna be the best branding iron ever.
Hey, now it's very rude to graffiti people's stuff.
Yes. I'm afraid that you must have the wrong impression of us. See, you've said the word murder, which is not accurate because we were only defending ourselves and accidentally blew your cousin's head off. It wasn't intentional.
Well, what are you gonna do to make it right? As he's like twirling the branding iron and Lim. He's like kind of looking at some of your stuff.
I'm reaching for it, and then can't wait.
Well,
Like Homer Simpson tries to sink away.
Should I take it? Should I not take it?
did you have any ideas that didn't involve trying to bully
let's see.
your way into our possessions?
Let's see what I
That
got
was the
here.
main thing I was thinking of, actually. I was thinking
Oh.
your things might be good, and I would take them all for this.
Here, how about this? And she puts forward like a bottle of ink. Oh. You can write down your cousin's stories with this and this. And she holds out a quill. Oh.
He very quickly, like, snatch, grabs them both.
All right, we're
puts it
done
in his
here.
pocket.
Let's go.
I don't
Those
think we're
that
done.
quill and ink
More.
was worth my life, so that was a good trade.
More.
What? No.
What do you mean, no? He sees, like, one of your books that you're carrying. Brands it.
Hey, this was not a first edition, but it was mine.
It still is. Hold on there.
And that's
I mean,
right.
it's-
It still is.
It is a nice brand, though.
I gotta admit, the craftsmanship on your brand, while I don't appreciate the use of graffitiing on my stuff, like, I gotta ask, who made that? Because that's like really clever what they did with the rabbit feet.
It
Did you make
was
it?
a gift
A gift. A gift from who?
from Bev Lorna.
Have we heard that name before or no? I don't think so.
Bev Lorna is like the formal name of one of the hags.
Oh, okay.
Slackjawed Lorna is what most of the people here seem to call her.
Wow. She has clearly treated you well. And she doesn't know what to say, so she just steps away. she's like
Well-
trying to like talk her way out of it, and then she's just like, I give up. I'm just gonna try to like
Maple shakes her shoulders and equips her shield. She seems to have plenty of time.
Listen. Okay, this here, what I made this, and to be honest, it actually looks better with the brand. The bag didn't look anything fancy. It looked horrible. It was like stitched up. It was just sad. It looked like it was like waterlogged. Like it just didn't look very nice. And the brand actually did. Yeah, if you want it, you could have my bag. But you have to leave us alone. We didn't mean to. Do you want this bag?
Yes.
I'm sorry for killing your cousin.
Yes,
Any
I mean, you
client-
could
Hold
ask
on.
the others that were there. We didn't intend to kill anybody. We even helped them retrieve their friend that got.
They were gonna
Knocked
just
out.
leave. They were just gonna leave his body there, but we are like, you
Yeah.
can't forget
Yeah, you
him.
gotta
Like
have
he's still
this
like
guy.
your buddy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
they were
know?
gonna run off. Like they weren't even gonna. They were just gonna leave him there in
It
the
was
mud.
just sort of an accident. We didn't, it was an accident.
Yes. You see all this. I can't see where I'm going, and they just. I was trying to scare him. Not
At this
kill
point,
anybody.
Alex, Maple's gonna float away from the brand to make sure she doesn't get branded or none of her stuff gets branded, and in a position where I'm near at least two of his henchmen, like right next to them, just in case I need to.
Okay.
Do yeah.
Sounds good.
I'm not sure where this is going anymore.
So he takes your bag.
Would I have the opportunity to get a few things out or no?
You go to try to take
It's
some
a bit of
stuff
the
out.
bag, but
Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on. And she reaches her hand, and it goes in, and then it keeps on going. She puts her shoulder in. She gets out, pulls out her little garbage tinker tools, and she puts them aside. She'll bring out some more snot rags. She'll bring out some coins. She just starts
Is this
pulling
a
it.
bag of holding?
You can see that he's like he's resisting the urge to like demand that all of those things belong to him too. But like as he's seeing like this trash that you're pulling out, he's like, "Is that all?"
Hold on. And she brings out this giant like balloon. It's like a giant water balloon, but it's not quite. It's like sheepskin something. She just puts it in. Boom. It just brings. Boom.
Is there more?
Yeah, hold on. And she-
I start talking to the henchman. I'm like, you got to be patient with this. This is on brand. Yeah, this is gonna be a while.
pebble.
Get comfortable.
I know you're not supposed to, but I've been. It's nice to bring rocks from places you've been. This is from Waterdeep. You see how it's little, it's a pebble, and it reminds me of Arlo because if you look at it, it looks kind of like his funny smile when he gets upset. If you look at
It's a rock that
And
a
then-
rock that looks like Arlo. I love. It looks just like.
and then
It's fine. It's fine. I'll just take the bag now
okay,
and I'll take this book. He grabs that book that he branded and he puts it in the bag. And well, I guess that's good. I guess this is like a magic bag.
yeah, it's gonna last a long time. It's gonna be great.
Okay. You could put like unlimited stuff in here.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, definitely. Just put as much stuff as you want in there.
Can you put bodies in here?
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh.
whoa, whoa. Why
Oh
would you need
no!
to put
Wait.
bodies in there? First of all, you don't want to mess. I've heard this before around the rumors around Waterdeep. You don't want to mess with putting bodies inside of interdimensional portals that might create unlimited space within a bag. Be very dangerous. Only limbs, only hands, and not dismembered limbs.
Oh.
And
I knew where you all were gonna go with that. Here, and to top off this deal, I have this really wonderful thing I want to give you for being so understanding. And I take out this dancing wand that we got. I don't think I'll ever use, but it is indeed a magic wand, and it is quite valuable. And it looks quite valuable too, from my understanding. So here, have this wondrous item. You can even put it in that bag, I think.
Yeah.
He puts it in the bag. Okay. Okay.
Put a lot of stuff in.
All right.
Keep it with you for at least 2 days. It's gonna be great.
No, why do you say that?
Because
What
2
happens in
days
2
of
days?
Bish.
2 days of joy and wonderment.
Yeah.
you're gonna say, gee whiz, I'm happy I have this bag. It looks wonderful.
It usually takes me
I'm
about 2
saying
days to
that
realize how
right
much I
now.
like things.
Why would I have to wait 2 days to be thankful for the bag?
What are you gonna be
Dang.
doing in 2 days?
You're thankful fast.
Probably robbing you again.
Oh.
Well, wait a second.
Hey!
Wait a second.
I'm just kidding. This is good. I like this bag. It's a good bag, and I like that
Well.
wand. And I don't really care for the book, but I needed to
Hey.
teach you a lesson. You murdered my cousin, so I'm taking your book.
Fine. That's not like
Yeah.
her spell book. It's just like a random book, right?
I don't know. You had a couple of like just
Yeah.
books. I don't know what they
Yeah.
were.
Okay, cool. I'm like, as long as it's not the spell book, I'm okay.
And he says, okay. And he kind of does a couple of nods at the other Harrigan that are in the tavern. But then he goes up to Sue, and he says, well, you know the arrangement, don't you? And she's kind of like forlorn a little bit, like just with great sadness or heaviness. She's just like shaking her head yes. And he says, well, you can deliver Slack Jawed Lorna's new inn. Bring it on up to Downfall. I'm sure she's looking forward to her new acquisition. So, good day. And he like hops out the
Hold
window.
on.
His like goons hop
never
out
mind,
the window
goodbye.
as well, and they clamber away. And she's just like, oh no, oh no.
Lim is gonna peek out the window and see if they're gone.
Yeah, they're bouncing. They're super fast, so they're kind of scampering away.
Okay. I'm gonna look back at the spot that he branded the floor. These floors are like wooden slats, right?
Yeah.
Anyone got a crowbar? No.
No.
Okay. This will be more difficult.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because hear me out. What if we give her only the slats that were branded? Because
Sure.
that's what's been branded. If they're separate from the inn, huh?
What do you think here, Sue? Is that gonna fly?
Oh, well, I mean, it's the sort of workaround that she would use on us.
Sounds good then. Let's try it. If she doesn't like it,
It's not gonna hurt your inn, right? Like I know it's got little feetsies
can-
under there.
No, they won't feel a thing. I can
Okay.
always replace a couple of floorboards.
Okay. Cause yeah, like I mean, if it's only that much, I mean,
You're willing to go talk to talk to her on my behalf and hand her that?
Oh, we have to talk to her.
Well, we
Well,
have
I
to talk to her
don't know.
anyways.
We're headed there
Oh, that's
anyway.
true. Oh, that's true. We
She's
are.
the
Well,
one
I
that might
mean,
know where my amulet. My
oh yeah, we
pendant
were
is,
we
yeah.
were going to Downfall. I didn't. Yeah, I guess we are going to see her. Yeah, we
We
can.
do have to ask her if she's seen those Tinker tools.
Mhm.
Well,
That's
3 with pink
right.
ribbons, 7 with purple
Yes.
ribbons.
Uh-huh. Don't you talk about my stuff.
And the horse that looks like a zebra, and the
Uh-huh.
gnome that looks like a dwarf.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
We listen.
So we do. So Sue, we do have to go there, so we can take up your grievance with her, or not even grievance. We'll just deliver your offering to her, which
Mhm.
is these 2 floorboards.
Yes.
Wow. That's
We can even autograph them or something for her, so they're worth more.
that is that is quite the charitable act there. Is there anything I could do for you to repay you for this?
Only continue to be as hospitable as you have been.
Well, of course, you're welcome here. And she like gives you back. I think you all paid like 5 silver or something to stay there, and she like gives that back to you, and she says, "You're free to stay here on the house whenever you like. You need a warm meal, you come find me, and we'll fix you up."
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You all keep your paws off that. I paid for the rooms.
Yeah, so she gives you that, repays that back to you.
Sweet.
Just kidding. I don't really care about money that much, but I'll put it back in my inventory.
So she'll offer to take you wherever you'd like. It sounds like maybe you're looking to head kind of directly to Downfall at this juncture.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think.
Unless there is any other place significant in hither that you think would be valuable, and I'm asking Sue if that you think would be valuable for us to visit before we would go talk to her.
She says if what you're looking for is your missing things, I mean, I'm willing to bet that nothing happens here without Slackjawed Lorna knowing about it. So,
Well, shall we all go there then? Is that okay, everybody?
Oh yeah.
Think so.
Yeah, what time of day is it?
um, we'll say it's like kind of like I don't know. It kind of seems like maybe like there's daylight, late morning.
Okay.
It's sort of like the I don't know if there's necessarily like day shifts here. Like it's just sort of persistently kind of gloomy, well lit, but yeah, you're not seeing like day cycles exactly. Um, so the inn starts to move on its dozens upon dozens of stubby little humanoid feet that kind of scuttle it through the marshy swamps. Um, I guess somebody roll me a D8. We'll see if there's anything interesting you see on your way to Downfall.
5 it is.
Okay.
5.
So as you're traveling, you kind of notice that like the water levels of the swamps seem to kind of fluctuate, and at times you pass by these little. They look like wells, like just like kind of ordinary stone wells. Um, and you can perceive that uh, at times when you pass by them, you see like a number of them on your way to Downfall. But like water seems to kind of like boil up or kind of shoot out almost like a geyser sometimes with that much pressure, and sort of start to flood or fill the swamp, and the water level gets higher and higher. Um, but then like maybe 10 minutes later, what feels like 10 minutes later, you'll just see the water levels kind of recede back and go back to like normal level. But through all of this happens like a couple of times, and you observe it. And as the inn is like kind of traveling, you see that up ahead, there are a number of like hobgoblins that are on stilts, kind of like sloshing through the swamp when it's at high water levels, and they're not moving super fast, but they just seem like there's like maybe 6 of them in total, and they're just wearing like kind of patchwork kind of rags. They look filthy, like they just got the swamp waters just soaked in, and they look pretty dirty. Um, but each of them has strapped to their back a wire cage that's sort of padded with straw, um, and looks like they're kind of like they've got like nets that they're kind of scooping down into the water, and like looks like they're trying to like hunt for something or find something. And Sue will tell you that oh, they're kind of hunters or traders. Like they basically go throughout the swamp here, and they try to um, scour up eggs, reptile eggs or bird eggs, whatever they can find. The bullywugs up there in Downfall, uh, they have kind of a taste for such things, and so they're willing to pay a pretty penny for such things. So they're harmless. Like you don't have to worry about them. They're just simple folk trying to make a living.
Oh, okay. I like the stilts though to get through the swamp.
She
What
says,
if I
yeah.
got stilts? Oh,
Well, that'd be one way to travel through the swamps. The water fluctuates so much here that.
I was thinking so I could be normal height again. I could look people in the eye. I don't gotta go like this. I gotta look at this. I gotta figure out a way to get these stilts.
Not too difficult to just make yourself up some stilts out of just a little bit of wood.
Maybe
or some
Vish could
heavy
make some
reed.
for you.
I was gonna say maybe Fish could make me some
Vish,
stilts.
you're pretty talented with tools.
Am I?
Could you make some stilts?
I could try.
And Sue, what do you know why the water fluctuates so much, so drastically?
You're saying this to Sue?
Yeah.
She says it's the Owells. The Owells, she says, they kind of regularly kind of rinse and recycle the water, draw it in, and set it free again. She says she's not really sure what the original intentions of these Owells is, but they sort of served as gathering places when Zybilnia was still in power. Like Fey folk would gather around them, and they're basically like the water cooler of this area of Prismere.
Hmm.
But now they just kind of, yeah, they take in and spew out this foul, fetid water. And it's kind of been that way ever since the Hourglass Coven has been in charge of things.
Okay. Thanks. Are we ready to speak at the witch?
Guess as ready as I'll ever be.
Shion, Maple, you all ready
What is our plan once we arrive?
to ask to talk to her? I think, right?
And to deliver the floorboards.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta deliver her a gift that
Her-
Peter Piper
Kicked.
or whatever
For-
would have
Offer
told
her
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 about.
branded floorboards.
Yeah,
Pick
we're
stolen goods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
I
think
don't-
we're going to be welcomed there? Do you think she'll even speak with us and or see us?
I think so.
Well,
Yes.
if we have the floorboards, she'll speak to us. I don't know if the conversation's going to go our way, but
And I vote that we
mean,
tell her as little about the floorboards as possible.
here's your gift,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's like the whole conversation.
Yeah, we
Sue
don't need to-
needed us to drop this off for her.
No, not
you
Sue.
know,
Not Sue.
what
We gotta
was the
say
what was the scarf
Um,
guy's name again?
Egden long
Egden.
scarf.
Yeah, Egden
Longscarf.
had asked Sue to drop these off, so Sue asked us since we were coming here anyway.
yeah.
We're good. I think we're good.
All right. So get our map going here. Again, it's very kind of foggy and misty as you're coming in. And Sue only brings like the inn so far up. We'll see. Just trying to figure out like how much should I reveal? Let's work. If I share this, can you see this map?
It's
Not
like
yet. We don't have
squares.
tokens on
Not
it.
yet.
Do you want us to see the whole thing?
Might still be loading here.
Probably not. No, it's loaded. We just don't have vision.
Yes.
We
No
see,
light.
We see a grid, but that's it.
I see darkness.
Maybe if I put tokens on it. Still nothing.
Not
No.
Nada.
Well, shoot. Is there a way for me to just turn it off?
Yeah, but you'll show us the whole map.
Well, at this point, I'd rather you see the whole map than no map at all, so.
On the 20-sided icon, make sure you're on that screen. When you open up the lock, it'll give the right side a bunch of options, one of which will be vision toggle on and off.
Huh. See something now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. You see the whole map?
Well, the vision's working. I can't see past some of the VBL.
I can see fog and a dial. That's it.
All right. Well, something's happening. You can see something. So this is like kind of more or less kind of over here on this bank, on the southern bank of there's kind of a stream that seems to kind of run through Downfall. Very thick fog that hangs heavy on the air. So this is kind of like she knows that she's probably the inn is not able to be seen by too many where she drops you off. She's kind of hoping to not get spotted by the hag, and so she kind of drops you off here. It says she won't be far. She won't be too far away. If you need her, by all means, like stop out there and come find her.
Is this magical fog or is this natural fog?
I mean, you'd probably think it's I mean, it's more or less non-magical, but I mean, it's a part of the realm,
Okay.
so it's unlikely it's going away. It's sort of persistent.
It's Fey fog.
Fey
Feywild fog.
Yeah.
Instead of Fey fire, it's Fey fog.
And so, you kind of have a general idea of the direction to head if you wanted to make your way into Downfall. Is there anything like you're doing before you head there, or um, more conversation that needs to happen before you head forward?
Okay, don't kill anybody.
Okay.
Except as a
Coulda-
last resort, but like
coulda-
a real last resort, not like just the. Okay.
Could I
Like a straight
borrow?
armor.
Could I
Just to make
ask?
sure.
Could I ask Sue for a burlap sack, a burlap bag?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Carry my
She'll give
things.
you that.
Okay. So
What if
fish.
it's Argden? I mean, if it's Argden though, I mean, oh, all right.
Well, why would
okay.
we kill? We just spent so much time not trying to kill him.
We spent
why
a
would
lot of
we-
energy not killing Argden, and I don't know if I
Yeah,
want to spend
so-
more energy not
right,
killing
but-
Argden the next time I see him. Yeah.
You don't want all that energy to go to waste. That we
But he still
already
has my new
used.
branding tool. I mean, I understand. Okay. We revisit it, when we see it. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Maybe we will
Okay.
revisit it. You can, you can defeat people without ending their lives. Just
Yeah,
keep
I
that in
know.
mind.
You can. Okay.
So you all kind of head up in this direction. Eventually, you catch sight of that winding stream that seems to run right in through the middle of Downfall, and you can see that this waterway. There's a couple of kind of croaking voices that you hear up ahead through the fog, and you can see a couple of dark shapes appear through the mists, and it appears to be a couple of rowboats, and manning the oars of each of those rowboats are two bullywugs. They're kind of so each one has two bullywugs in it, four in total. Um, they're all wearing um, kind of weird, almost like royalty looking garb, like kind of like frilly, like big collars and like silks that are all stained with dirt, and but like they kind of give off almost this feeling of nobility, or very much looks like the dress of some of the nobles of Waterdeep. And as you kind of come into view, they all kind of wave out at you and they say, "Welcome to Downfall, travelers!"
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
It looks so regal.
Wonderful day for a row, don't you think?
I hadn't thought about it. It does look like one.
You enjoying your row?
Very much so. Yes, they're just out for a little bit of a ride here, enjoying the sounds, enjoying the smells.
Perfect.
That sweet, sweet
Take a
swamp
deep
air.
breath. Do I catch something new?
Nice.
Not new, but not nice either.
Okay, not nice. No.
Would you happen to be able to direct us to what's her name? Forlorn? Bakja?
Slackjaw.
Slackjaw.
Slackjaw Lorne?
Yeah.
Lauren. Lornan?
Lorna.
Lorne. Yeah.
Lorna.
Lorna.
You all
Tiffany.
know what I mean when I say Lorna,
Tiffany.
right?
Ooh. Yes. You
just
should
point-
talk to King Gullop the 19th. He can help you.
We absolutely should talk to King Gulp the 19th right now.
Yes, he'll
Can't
he'll
wait.
welcome you. We love visitors here in Downfall. He'd be happy to entertain you and hear what you have to say about that matter that you just said.
We need to just speak it. Yeah, okay, we'll go see the king first. King Wallop?
Gullop,
Gulp
Gulp.
Gulp.
the
Gulp.
15th.
19.
19th.
19.
19th.
Gulp the 19th.
Right.
Yes, we
How-
lost Sir King Gullop the 15th last week.
Oh.
We're already up to 19?
So 16, 17, 18 also last week
Yes.
or earlier this week.
What happened to Gullops?
Oh, they're dead.
I mean, is there more to the story or are they just croaked?
Boo,
It's okay. We condone such jokes here.
Oh, good.
the
I was a
only-
little worried.
It's the only way to
Right.
get on with our lives and wake up in the morning.
Aw.
This is so
But yes.
sad.
really actually fairly
So upset with myself right now.
Yeah, would you help us guide us to Gallop the 19th or maybe even the 20th, depending on
Oh.
how long it
It'll
takes to
get
get there?
yeah.
Yep.
Sure, yeah. It'd be a little tight, but come on in. They kind of like row the boats like up to the shore and kind of invite you to like jump on in.
I like spin around real quick to look at the party. Goes, remember the rules, guys. They have to do all this, so just don't take it. Be careful.
They have to. I forgot the
Yeah,
rules already.
they're saying they're saying they want to, but they have to. It's weird here.
That's
Right.
right.
But remember
Careful,
that the
just be
rules
careful.
we've sort of saw that the rules don't really apply anymore.
Or they're
People
Be really
just take
twisted.
it.
careful.
They're
Just be
twisted.
careful. I don't know what to be.
Let's see.
All right.
Hospitality, ownership, gift giving. I think that was it.
Reciprocity.
I get a little closer. I actually didn't remember some of them. Thanks, Shane. I was trying to remember. And I can fly, so I'll just.
If you want, I think I made it public. In the notes section, I put the rules of Prismere in like their own little section. So that way we have
Okay.
them just right there.
Nice. Got it.
Yes. Because I knew I would forget.
Yeah, I wrote it down too.
You wrote it down a lot better than I did.
So I just need to review kind of. So they kind of take you down the river here,
That doesn't sound
and
good.
pretty soon you can see up ahead. They're kind of chit chatting. They would kind of want to know, where you've been, and maybe, whatever you tell them. They're interested, they're kind of nodding along, kind of like being in a taxi. Like the taxi driver's just gonna ask you like all sorts of kind of superficial questions about and pretend to be really interested in what you're talking about. So they take you kind of down this way, and I'll just kind of point out some of the sights as you're going along here. So up over here, you see sort of a ramshackle wooden pier, and kind of anchored nearby, floating above the surface of the lake, is a balloon, kind of like one of those big hot air balloons that you saw earlier, the previous day. And so this one is anchored here, tied by 4 thick ropes that are anchoring it down into big wooden stakes that are either kind of grounding it into the earth on the shore, or like right into the lake itself, in the shallowness of the lake. And there's a bullywug that stands near it. It looks like this is sort of damaged. It looks like the balloon has suffered a little bit. It's sort of sagging. The bladder of it is kind of sagging and like not filling quite properly. And sitting nearby is a bullywug who's using a long silver needle and a spool of some kind of like intestine like spool kind of thing to kind of thread and like patch up a piece of the sagging balloon. Huddled nearby, you can see there are 3 giant frogs that are just snapping up passing insects. And you continue. And you're passing up kind of right through here. Off to your right, you can see wooden steps that rise up and out of the swamp. They go up to this like cottage that's basically being held up on stilts overhead. Um, and it is like a massive 4 flights of wooden steps that rise up to a trapdoor that seems like is at the bottom of what you would see as like, the base of the cottage floor up ahead, overhead. And then they keep going, and they basically take you right up here and moor you down, or moor down the boats and like let you step off and step out. They point you towards this little kind of peninsula here where you can see a grand marble gazebo that's standing atop a mound of soggy earth. The support pillars here have sunken into the muck unevenly so that the domed canopy of the gazebo is sort of tilted, a little askew. And short steps ring the gazebo, leading to a raised floor where bullywugs dressed in shabby clothing lounge on pillows. Among them, a harpist sends forth delicate notes that mingle with the murmured croaking of the gathered nobles. On a dais, a flabby bullywug, wearing a crown of woven lily flowers, sits on an ornate throne with his legs folded underneath him. He has a large leather-bound book open across his lap, and he's mouthing the words that he is reading on the pages sort of out loud. No one in particular really seems to be paying too much attention to what he's saying or what he's reading. But as you're stepping out of the boat, he says, without looking up, he says, "Have you no herald to announce your presence here before King Gullop the 19th?" And then he slams the book shut, as if to punctuate his question as he like kind of looks up out at you. The sleepy bullywug guards all kind of like stand up and stand to attention, and they seem to kind of like ready their weapons and kind of stand at attention. And here is an image of your kingly host.
Aw. He's all floofy.
Fair
He's
floofy.
got all the poofy sleeves and everything. Is that a pet alligator?
Yep.
It's a pet alligator.
He has a pet alligator who's also dressed up in frilly clothing.
Aw. I like the other bullywug, how he has like the tiniest mustache.
He does.
This
He
is
looks
fun.
like a frog prince. That's
It's
awesome.
just the curl.
Yeah.
The rest of the mustache is. Oh, it's classic.
Oh,
Do we have a
Harold.
herald? Maybe.
Yes, we
Vish,
do.
Do you wanna
Yes.
announce this, Vish?
You got this?
Okay. Give me a second. She's um.
Here, I have
It's-
some parchment so it can make it look like you're reading it off a scroll.
Okay, thank
very
you. She's gonna get
regal.
the scroll, and then she's gonna
Very regal looking.
take the scroll, and she's gonna take her tinker tool and hit it a bit, and
Out
then
comes the
throw it.
drum.
Yeah, and she's gonna throw it out, and it's gonna go and sink on the floor slowly, and hit the floor. And it's gonna say announcing, and then she's gonna run over to it, pick it up, scroll it back up, do the tinker tool again. She's gonna throw it. It's gonna sink down, and as it hits it, it'll say Arlo, and she's gonna run and get it, take it again, throw it. It's gonna slowly sink down. Keon, she's gonna run, get it, hit it, throw it. It's gonna slowly sink down again. Maple, she's gonna go run, grab it. She's gonna roll it up, hit it, and she's gonna try. Oh shoot. Okay, here we go. She's gonna throw it. It's gonna go. Liam, and she's gonna.
He's less
Get it?
excited at this point, just kind of tapping the drums.
and throw it. And it's gonna sink. And she's gonna run, get it, tap it,
Only
throw
one
it,
word at a time, isn't
and
it?
then me. Oh,
I'm gonna clap.
here you go.
Thanks,
The
Nash.
bullywugs
Thanks,
are
bro.
all like
Thanks.
surprisingly like patient and like they wait for this whole thing, and a couple of them are kind of tapping their feet, but like more or less they're polite and like let you finish, and then a couple of like bullywugs kind of step forth and like they've got these big long trumpets and they go "Dur, dur, dur, dur. Now you are in the presence of His Royalness King Gullop the 19th. And he says, that will be enough, Harold. Oh, welcome to Downfall. It's not often that we get guests like yourselves. Please, what is it? What is it that we can do to make sure that your time in Downfall is hospitable and comfortable? And we wish to show you the true greatness of our people and our customs. Perhaps while we talk, I'm feeling a little peckish myself. Maybe a little bit of food and some drink. Come. And he kind of claps his hands, and little servants kind of scurry about, and um, they kind of set up little tables that are kind of scattered about, little appetizers of things that probably aren't too appetizing to you all. You know, flies and different insects and such, but they are pouring out what appears to be some kind of a wine into goblets and handing those out to you all, as well as the king and some of his like advisor people behind him are partaking as well. And he says, "Well, shall we have a toast to commemorate your arrival here in Downfall and our friendship? I hope. Yes,
Yes.
Sure.
To friendship.
Yes, thank you.
yes, to friendship.
Wow. Where?
Woo!
Cheers.
How's the wine?
It's pretty good.
Awesome.
Oh.
Shion, though, when you are drinking, you notice that there's like some object or something, like your lips kind of knock into something that's like floating in the cup.
Did I look in it?
It looks
Kind of
like
slash it around a little bit.
yeah, you slash it around it. It looks like it's like a little vial with a little piece of parchment in it that's stoppered.
I reach in and pull it out.
Okay, are you doing so plainly or are you trying to like sneakily do this?
I'll be discreet.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
Alrighty.
Okay. I will remind you,
Reroll.
you do have some rerolls from last time still. You still
I
have
will
three
in fact
rerolls.
use a reroll on that.
Yeah, that's on
Oh.
brand. That is
Oh,
on
that's what
brand
we're
with
doing?
this group right now.
So you go to kind of like fish this thing out kind of discreetly, but unfortunately, as you do that, you kind of like fling it, and it goes
Oh.
like kind of flying a little bit, and like the king sees that and he says, "Oh, is there something wrong with the wine? There seems there's something in it." And he kind of like looks over at one of the guards. And he says, "Ooh, fetch that." And you can see one of the knights is like kind of moving forward to go retrieve it from
Did
the
Maple
floor.
see any of it?
Yeah, I think you all saw it. It was pretty. It was an
Did
8.
it land
I was trying
near?
to fish it out discreetly. I went, whoa!
Did it land near like snacks or something? I think there was some insects nearby.
No, it just like landed on the floor.
Oh, okay, I can't help you there.
5-second rule. Still good.
So the knight goes and like picks it up, and like he unstoppers it, and is kind of like it's just this like tiny little parchment, and he's looking at
Oh.
it, and he says, "My king, this parchment foretells treachery. and there's like everyone's like, and he's like, what? I have been in power for 2 days. This is outrageous.
Lim is gonna clutch at her fake pearls. She's not wearing anything, but she's.
Thanks, Ed. We got some rerolls here. One for the DM and some for the players. So you guys are up to 7.
I
you.
appreciate
Thank
the
you.
effort.
Thank you very much.
I mean, thanks.
So like there's just kind of like everyone's kind of gasping and like looking at one another, and the king looks at you all and he says, You're not with the revolution, are you?"
Nope.
No,
No,
what?
definitely not.
No.
Hey,
what's
yeah,
tr-
no.
"Not here to
There's a
overthrow me."
revolution? You have a revolution? It's been 2 days.
Well, it's about time then. Someone's gonna
Yeah,
cause
that's a
some problem.
Yeah.
That
You know,
adds
you're,
up. He's right.
you're
He's not
probably
wrong.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
My
makes sense.
successor, my predecessor, only made it 8 hours. So,
And you made it 2 days?
I knew this day would come, or this hour would come, or this minute would come.
I knew this- I knew
Well,
this
what
day would come.
treachery does the note actually speak of? You just said treachery. I mean, does it outline a plan, detail some specifics? Does it ask? I mean, why would it end up in our drinks? We are not treacherous folks.
The knight is just kind of holding it, and King Gullop just like lets his tongue go, and it like grabs the note, and then like he devours it and eats it. He's like, "Well, we'll never know now, will we?"
Except for the 2 people that already read it. No.
That seems a little overkill.
And
That
like
might-
the
that might help you.
the knight looks like,
I look at the night like, my bad, dude.
and the king just looks at you, Maple, and he's like, "You're right. Take him away!" And you can see a couple of guards like grab the one guy that read the note. He's like, "No, no!" He's getting hauled out.
Remember what I was saying about not killing people?
I didn't touch
Also-
him.
I know. Also, I should have expanded more on that and said
Oh,
not
so
get
no-
other people killed as well.
Oh, okay. So no secondhand murder. Like no
Right,
first
like-
person, but okay. Don't
Second hand intentional or unintentional homicides.
that makes
Miss-
sense.
Your Majesty.
Did that taste good?
No, it
Oh
tastes.
my gosh, what if they knew you'd do that and they poisoned the
I was
note?
just wondering
Oh
what
my
if the whole
goodness.
point was to make you eat it. You just fell for
Yeah.
that, and I take another drink.
Oh, spaghetti.
You better-
Spit it out!
Go. Go. Go.
Wha-
Here.
You-
You need me? I could use my hand. I'll help you out.
But
Wow.
Gotta put the finger down the
Just
throat,
in there.
up chuck it. Let's go.
Up check. Up
You know-
check.
Go for the little punching bag at the back of your throat. It always works.
I mean, the guard they took
what
away,
talk
Mike can
is
still
this?
talk. I don't understand why that's not.
no.
This place happens fast.
You look a little. You look a little green.
Wow. Wow. Can't the knight still talk even though they took him away? Is this gonna work?
Would you
Oh.
stop giving them ideas about bad things?
You
to do
started
to that
asking
knight?
about it in the first place.
No, he'll be fine. We'll put him in isolation where we can't be sure that he isn't a part of the conspiracy. So we'll have to vet him to make sure that he's on the up and up. But I think you
Okay.
all you're clearly concerned about my health. I
You don't
No.
look too good.
I look green. That is normal for my kind. Yes. I feel fine. I feel good.
Good,
I'm still alive. And I'm still croaking. I haven't croaked. I'm still croaking in the present tense.
You are positively croaking.
For our
Yeah,
kind,
that's-
that's a good thing. Yes.
Does that
That
get
word has a
confusing
lot of
for
definitions.
you all? Like, did Grandma croaked yesterday, but like not in the bad way?
Yeah, that would be a good thing. You want Grandma to croak.
Okay.
It's such a confusing word.
I have no idea what's going on.
We had errors we were supposed to read.
Um, Yes, we're worried about you.
Well, good. That means that you are allies of the throne, and I can trust you 100%. 99%.
Yeah, sure.
If our trust goes down as fast as their monarchs, we might have a problem. We better hurry.
Oh yeah. Should I'm gonna like lean over to someone and be like, should we talk about our delivery or
Yeah.
yeah. So we have gifts that are supposed to go to
Oh, I love gifts.
well, I don't think you'll enjoy who they're going to. They've been claimed by
Slackjaw Lorna.
yes.
I do the dramatic.
Slackjaw
Lorna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hold up the boards that have been stamped and kind of
Kind of gift is
Argden's-
that?
Argden
what you
stamped
wanted.
them, so we're gonna deliver them. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
Argden. He's a
That's
weirdo.
kind of confusing to me.
I don't get this guy.
Well, I don't understand hags at all, so I won't presume to know what is valuable and what is not valuable. It seems that
Makes
you
sense.
maybe understand her a little bit. You found this piece of board that is trophy, or maybe you're gonna do her floor for her.
I don't know. If you don't want it, I was gonna make stilts.
We
Let's see.
saw the mark and we're like, oh, we know where this is supposed to go, so we're just helping it get there.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, you're gonna go see her. You're gonna give
Uh,
her
a
this
good
thing.
We
Mm,
were
yes,
we were
you
instructed
should.
to see you first.
Yes, good. I am glad because only a member of the royal court can speak to Slackjawed Lorna, and I might be able to make you members of the royal court.
We're friends.
We're friends.
We accept. Thank you.
Ah, good,
Things happen fast.
good.
here.
Yes. So, we will get you all fitted with the proper attire. Right now, you're looking. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but you're looking a little drab. And if you're going to be members of the royal court, you have to dress the part. So,
Yeah, that's
uh,
fair.
and like little people kind of little bullywugs are running out and they're kind of like sizing you up. They got little like tape measures and they're like doing your measurements real quick. And says, "Oh, that should just take a moment. They'll get the hard workers here in the Soggy Court. So yes, um, you're going to deliver something to Slackjawed Lorna anyway. Maybe you'll be able to deliver her something not from me,
Not from you.
but kind of from me, but also not.
I mean, that's what we're doing already.
When things get confusing, I just
Good.
look at Arlo. I'm like, is it a thing?
I'm concerned. No one wants to deliver these gifts themselves.
I can't
You are
wait
good.
to meet
You're a
her.
really good delivery person. I can tell.
I
So
feel very concerned.
no, don't be concerned. You will have the full backing of the Soggy Court behind you.
Oh, okay.
We're
Well,
very far away.
Is something
Sound-
bad? Hold on.
If we hurry,
Something-
yeah.
Is something bad gonna happen to us when we deliver this stuff?
Yep.
I don't think so.
You're not lying to us, are you?
I'm not lying. I've been in charge for 2 days. Do you know what that means? I have a lot of confidence from my people. I am a good ruler. I am
A
you
politician.
trust me.
Longer than the last guy.
It's just a book. I just want you to deliver a book to her. That book that I was just reading when you came up from the shore there.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
her book.
Oh.
Oh, what was it?
Did you end up with it?
Yes. Well, I purchased it from a merchant that has stopped into town. I thought it looked interesting. I wanted to buy it. But I think the merchant maybe stole it from her. And now I have it. I need you to bring it back to her and let her know that I did not steal it. I recovered it. And I am taking care of these scoundrels that took it from her. Yes, they will be punished.
I
And
feel
I
like you're
should be
putting us in a
rewarded.
very dangerous situation.
No.
We were already in a really dangerous
No,
situation.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Haven't
will
you-
let her know that your majesty is on top of this.
Thanks for the raid. I'm Butterbean.
Yes.
We have a raid, everybody. Thanks for the raid, Sloth and
Hey, guys.
Friends.
Sloth and
Sloth
friends.
friends.
Sloth and Friends are
Cool.
stopping
Yeah.
Hi.
by. Thank you so
Hi.
much for the host and the raid. We
Cool.
appreciate it. What were y'all
Me
playing
neither.
tonight? If you're playing some D&D or something else, but welcome. I'm always happy to see you here. So,
Nice.
yeah, the king just says, you ever get something returned to you that you lost a long time ago? Isn't it kind of, it's a good thing. It's a happy thing. Everyone likes to get packages in mail, I'm sure.
I don't know that feeling, but I want to one day.
Oh.
One day I'll know what it's like to get my stuff back.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's right. Excuse me.
Oh, here we go.
What does that
Oh.
mean? Your Majesty,
Yes.
Have you happened to see some Tinker Tools?
Well,
They have-
the merchant that I purchased this book from had all sorts of interesting things. I wasn't really in the market for tinker tools, but maybe there you could find some.
What is
What do they
merchant?
look like?
Well, they have. I'm happy you asked. There's 3 of them with pink little ribbons, and then there's 7 that have purple ribbons. One of them looks like a gnome, but it looks like a dwarf. And then there's one that looks like a horse, but it's actually it's a zebra. It looks like a zebra, but it's a grain. It's a horse.
These are tinker
this is-
tools.
Yeah,
Well, they sound awesome.
I know. They're my grandpapa's.
And you lost them? How could you be so careless? A family heirloom like this?
Yeah.
Lynn is gonna go over and kind of just like pat her on
I've
the
been
back.
trying. I've been trying to get them back. They really mean a lot to me.
Well, thank you, Corey, for the re-roll. He says, well, just imagine that Slack-jawed Lorna is you, and this book is the Tinker Tools. Now imagine how happy she would be if you returned this book to her and said that it was just not stolen, but found, and not stolen by me, but maybe found and recovered by me, and you brought it back to her. She'd probably be pretty happy, do you think? Maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not following.
Friends don't kill friends.
What?
Yeah.
We're not gonna. It seems like I'm just saying it. It has to be said. Friends don't kill friends.
Well, yeah, it's true.
We're not gonna get in. We're not gonna get harmed, are we?
No. Oh, I was hoping you were going to tell Lorna that about me, because I am her friend.
I had every intention of throwing the merchant under the bus. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's get
Yeah,
rid of
that's
this
what we
merchant.
Yeah.
So can
Hello
you
to
tell us
Arlo.
anything?
Like, is that better?
Can you tell us anything helpful about Slackjaw?
Oh, well, she keeps to herself a lot up there in her cottage, and he points to that big cottage that you saw in the middle of the lake. She spends a lot of time. She's got kind of a pool that she likes spend a lot of time in there pruning, getting a little pruned up, soaking in the pond.
Bruni.
Yeah, she. I don't know. I try not to know too much. But if you're looking for her, she's definitely up there.
Do we need like heralds to announce us there as well?
We have one.
Right, but just don't want to know if we need to use that protocol or not when we go there.
Um, she she's not quite so formal.
Okay. Is there anything that we shouldn't say?
Mm,
You can imagine the look on the bullywug's face when you ask.
This is just gonna like constantly just be like squinting at the king's direction. Mm.
he's like,
Anything that you can tell us that makes sure we get out of here alive.
Live the Moss. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching.
Lift the box.
He says, well, don't imply that that anything's wrong down here. Let her know that everything's under control. She can trust King Gullop the 19th to maintain order. Yes, she might be a little upset about a little incident that happened the other day, so I'd like to kind of calm things over with that.
What
Maybe?
happened the other day?
Oh, well, there was one of my knights went a little rogue and stole one of our balloons and made off with a captive that we were holding for her, little fairy dragon fella. And
That sounds familiar.
Keeping my mouth shut.
Well, do you have a little? Will you have a little mustache?
yeah, you've seen him?
No, just heard stories.
Oh,
Is he in
Okay.
trouble?
I think Agden.
there's a lot of
maybe.
trouble, but you tell her I've got it all under control. There was a co-conspirator that I have locked up. We're gonna take care of take care of her. Um, from what I understand, they've already got the fairy dragon back. That one of her servants went and got him, and so he, no harm, no foul. Will be more careful in the future. Maybe you can let her know that too. That she'll have no further incident from us. Yeah, good.
Look at the co-conspirator. Why would anyone try to do? Why would they try to drag your name in the mud like that?
Well, probably they're with these revolutionaries with the note. They're
Do you
trying
need
to
some
make
help
me
with
look a
these
fool.
revolutionaries?
Do I ever meet them?
No, do you need? I said you need some help.
Yeah. Do you know who they are?
We can find out. We'll talk to that co-conspirator and find out for you.
Yes. Yes. Oh, this is good. Oh, I'm gonna make you my new number 3.
Okay.
You'll be king in no time.
Huh?
What?
Fine. That's
Huh?
great. No.
What?
No.
What?
Oh, that's good.
Surely you jest.
We like to jest. We
It's
are
whatever. No, it's whatever.
I was
We
just
are-
counting.
just, yeah, we like to jest.
Can you bring us to the co-conspirator real quick?
Oh,
Or
one of my attendants here can absolutely take you to where we're holding this
Rapscallion.
rapscallion. That's right.
Yeah, I know.
What a cool word.
Are there any other? You go talk to the co-conspirator. I'm sure your outfits will be done shortly. You can return back here to get those so that you can
Okay.
properly be members of the Soggy Court when you go to see Slackjawed Lorna.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go. Let's punch some holes in this co-conspirator's story
Real-
and get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Real quick, what's the book look like? And does he keep it? Did he give it to us?
Yeah, he's,
How does it...
you're saying that you'll deliver it for him?
I wish shaking my head had been done. I don't know if Mabel can speak for everybody.
I mean, I guess we're already.
I usually
on our
wait
way,
for
so.
I'll usually wait for Arlo to say the yes or no.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, yeah. Then he would give it to you. Leather-bound book that has scratched into its cover. It says "Big Book of Bad Blood."
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
That's the. It really says that.
Okay.
What?
Lim's kind of curious about the book. She's kind of
Yeah.
like,
Why is that in
yeah.
there?
Somebody needs to be on reading duty while we talk to the co-conspirator, so we can
I
we
could
can.
probably do that.
I was
can-
hoping
I
you'd
can-
volunteer.
I can help with reading. I can't be trusted around prisoners. Apparently, I kill them.
So you get kind of marched over this way. One of the knights takes you this way. Across this little land bridge that leads over to another patch of upraised earth that juts up above the water line, and to your kind of southwest there, is a ramshackle hall built around a big tree. Two of the tree's limbs reach out through the walls like enormous welcoming arms. The interior of the hall, or well, you probably can't see inside. Oh yeah, you can. From where you're standing, you can see it like kind of is open on the inside. Interior of the hall is pretty roomy. And there are bullywug nobles that are kind of crowding about the space and kind of filtering in and out. And if you ask the knight what that is, and he'll say that that's the sinking palace. That's where the king and his court dwell. And then
Stinking palace.
Do you know any, Mr. Knight? Do you know anything about this knight, this trader knight? Why would they do
Oh.
that?
Well, her name is Morgort. She Well, I don't really know what her reasons for helping to take the fairy dragon away is, but whatever it is, it must be really important if she was willing to put herself on notice of Slackjawed Lorna. I mean, we're all terrified of her, and she was. This is a big risk. This is big. This is real bad. She's gonna have to go. She's gonna have to go through trial by combat.
Oh,
What does she have to fight?
Oh, I don't know if the king has necessarily decided yet, but
Maybe like a caterpillar or
I don't
you know,
think so.
something nice and easy.
A snail.
Snail.
Oh, I don't. Probably not.
Last time there was
Probably
a combat
bigger.
trial, what'd they fight?
I think it was another. It was bullywug on bullywug. It was terrible.
Mm.
oh, was that last king that did that?
That's the worst.
Mm-hmm. And the two kings before that, we had a trial with him, and then he just starts like kind of go through the list of kings that they had in the past.
You're starting to see how this is how the crown passed. Yeah.
So he takes you here to this building. So rising out of the soggy earth, this is just a wooden hut, open doorway on the side of it, and at the back of the hut you can see there are two holding cells that are just made of like roots, like big thick roots that just kind of grow up out of the earth and kind of serve as bars. Um, One of the cells is empty, and the other holds a figure in rags that's kind of slumped against the back wall. And the knight just kind of like was really just here to like take deliver you here, and he says that he'll just kind of stand outside while you interrogate this traitor to the crown.
Perfect. All right, you two get started reading. Ready? Okay. So Melgort, is it?
She says, "My name is Morgort."
Morgort. Yeah, I'm bad with names. Sorry.
It's okay. Who are you?
I am Arlo. I've come here to try to find out, to get to the bottom of what's happening. Why were you attempting to abscond with a fairy dragon?
Well, because he needed to get back. He needed to get back to the gloaming court to report on all this awfulness that's happening around here with with the Hourglass Coven.
Mm-hmm.
Prisoner's gone all. It's gone bad. It's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Something needs to be done. We need Sibylla back.
Mm-hmm. Then what is this glooming court you speak of?
Well, I don't know if I really understand it all that well, but Sir Talavar says that he was an emissary from there, and well, he said he served some, what was it, a tea name, Titania. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm looking at Kim because I know like you're maybe familiar with that lore.
I was like, wait a
Yes,
second, I know
Titania.
it.
Titania.
Yep. Titania.
Some kind of powerful fae creature, queen. I don't know, but Sir Telever said that she could help and that he could get help from outside of Prismere to restore
And
things.
Sir Tolliver is who?
Oh, it's a little fairy dragon. The one I was trying to help. I was trying to help get him out of here. So I
How
hooked.
did he? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I know he had come here and he was sort of prisoner of Slackjawed Lorna. So, me and one of my friends, we arranged it that we could steal one of the swamp air balloons, and try to skedaddle out of here. He said he knew how to pass through Prismere, the outer fog.
Tolliver said that, or your friend said that?
That's what Talaver said.
Okay.
We need that. We need that. Yeah.
And where? So it was just you, your friend, and Tolliver that concocted this escape.
Or
Yeah.
were there rebels?
No, I'm not a part of all that nonsense. I can't keep up with who's who and who's in charge and whatnot. I just want to help the bigger vision of restoring. Hither doesn't always be so. Everyone's so afraid. Everyone's so scared, looking over their shoulders all the time. We didn't used to have all this treachery either. We used to have kind of consistency and all this backstabbing and whatnot. No, people didn't do that before.
Robbing your things.
So to back it up for a sec, when she says she can't follow all this, Maple's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like completely loses the bad cop look and just, yeah, I can't follow any of the teeth. Like
Sorry.
completely on her side at this point. She's won me over. It's not hard.
Yeah, I know, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know a secret?
What?
And
Sorry.
this
What's
is-
the bullywug's name again?
Morgort.
Morgort. Okay.
Can I look over my shoulder to see if the guard is? Are they a ways away? Or they're around?
He's like standing like, I don't know, maybe like 10 feet from the entrance to this hut.
Okay, so a little ways away. I could whisper.
I got
and
you.
it would be-
I got you. And I'll fly out to the guard. and I'll just start distracting him. Like, yes, is that where the hag lives in that place? How far away is it? Have you ever been there? And there's just a whole attempt to distract him.
Yeah, and he's not too bright, so he's just happy to talk to you. He's like, oh, yeah, someone's talking to me, and
Yeah,
That's nice.
got him. Look, you're good. Go. I'm a bartender. This won't be hard.
Do you want to know a secret?
it won't get me in trouble, will it?
No.
Okay.
We saw you. We saw you. Did you see us? We saw you when you were falling.
Oh, I don't think you saw me.
Oh,
I
well,
think you saw my friend.
Oops. We saw your friend when they were falling.
Do you know what happened to him?
No, they fell into the swamp, and I could we slept.
Oh. Well,
The truth, really?
I'm sorry, I didn't know what to say.
You forgot about the part about us getting mugged and all that.
Oh, yeah, we got beat up. Well, yeah, technically no, we
We
didn't.
didn't get beat up. No,
Well,
somebody
someone got
attempted to
hurt.
mug us, and then Lim shot his head off, and then stuff like that. But the key point here is, I'm inclined to believe you had good intentions.
Thank you, Arlo. Yes, we were trying good intentions.
well,
You wish her.
if Sir Wigglewog didn't come back when they brought Sir Taliver back, so I guess. Okay. You can see like she's just kind of like taking in, like she knows like her friend isn't coming back.
Also, they did say something about you're going to have trial by combat after this, so I hope that doesn't distress you or anything.
Oh. We'll see what happens, I guess. I can hold my own in a fight, but I have a feeling that Slackjawed Lorna's going to have something to do with who it is that I end up fighting.
Let's see. But what if, we have to go talk to Slackjawed Lorna later, and we can try to convince her to make you fight like a centipede or something instead of like a person.
Well, you're really brave if you're willing to make such a suggestion. I mean, basically, she knows that we were trying to usurp her power. We're trying to get her getting gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate any help. It's a nice gesture. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Tolliver knows how to get out of here.
That's what he said. That's why we were willing to do this desperate plan. We were willing to risk it. We knew what we were getting into. We were willing to give our lives for that plan.
That's very noble of you.
Mm-hmm.
Look, yeah, there isn't much we can do to help you here unless we decide to be really brave as well and do something different. But goodness, we've really got a lot of things we need to find out.
Well, hold
here,
on.
so-
I just first yes, you probably didn't see my Tinker Toes, but more importantly, well, maybe I can't believe I just said that. Whoa.
Go ahead, Vish.
Either way,
ask-
Peeks in like, what?
No, I'm not
Ask-
going to
and
ask
it's-
about the Tinker Toes. I'm
There's
not.
some character
not
development right there.
Holy, holy moly!
Vish is
Roly
growing.
poly! Are you gonna be okay? Do you need help? Do you want help?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to refuse help, but at what risk are you going to take to to help me out. I mean, I say, I don't know. I mean, ultimately, all I want to see is things go back to normal. So if you have to make a choice between that and helping me, I say if you can find a way to set things right, that's vastly more important than my life.
Hmm. Well, maybe we have to. Well, if we have time, maybe we'll be able to.
But
Why not have time? Not
I
time.
mean, what is that weapon you have?
Weapon?
Yeah, do you
Weapon?
have a weapon?
Uh, is- she's gonna bring out her her sack that she's carrying and dragging around. Uh,
That crossbow?
yes, I have a yeah crossbow.
Oh dear.
Do you need something? Do you need a weapon? Do you need a weapon for the
And
fight?
I think maybe you need a weapon. I mean, that's ugh. You're not gonna be able to. If you're gonna fight Lorna with that,
Well, we didn't say, whoa, whoa, slow her down here.
come on, you gotta do it. You gotta take her out.
We did not say we were going to fight Lorna on our own.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're going to find out a lot of things. You know, information is power and such. So we could find out all sorts of things and eventually figure out the proper way to dispatch of, you know,
that's probably good that you're gonna go that route because and she's just kind of like looking around at like your weapons and stuff, and she's just like, I just don't think, yeah, I don't think you're
Okay.
equipped for that. That's not good.
Well,
So yeah,
well,
do the diplomacy thing might be better.
right. Well, you know, diplomacy now, murder and death later.
really,
If required. If required, if she's really as
What?
tyrannical as all that, we just can't let it stand.
That's fair.
And if Taliver can get us somewhere where we can find us more powerful allies or learn, you know, more information that's helpful, you know, then maybe we can come back and set this land free. But for now, we've got to find out if that hag has our things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm gonna ask. I'm sorry. Have you seen my little Tinker Toes? They're three that are pink.
3 that are pink,
Seven.
4, oh, 7, sorry, 7 that are purple. The horse or the zebra looks like a horse because the
Norms are
gray.
dwarves. Norms are dwarves.
Gnomes and dwarves. I think there's something else, but
Well, and it's ribbons on the, you know,
Yes.
finger tools. The
Uh-huh.
tools
Yeah,
themselves
that's
are
right,
not
yeah.
pink and purple. It's
One actually
ribbons.
looks like a dragonfly
Really?
that's right. There was a dragonfly
without
one
wings. So
because it would be hard. It would be difficult to hold
No,
if it had the wings. No?
Actually, no.
I thought the ribbons made it look like
You're
wings.
just
Wasn't
her
there a?
picking at her skin, going no.
No,
Okay.
I'm in a cell, man.
Sorry, I try my best to not ask.
If you where do you think they would be keeping Sir Taliver?
Oh, definitely, Slackjawed Lorna has her. She's
Oh.
not good. She wasn't gonna let um our noble king have that kind of authority ever again.
Well, good luck. I mean, you might be able just to hold out till the next king, and you'll be okay. Maybe they forget about it.
Well, I don't think Lorna's
So-
gonna forget.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I think
remember,
whoever the next king is will be more than happy to earn good graces with her by seeing me gone.
what if we sort of just like cut some holes in your cell here so that later you could escape without it seeming like we were the ones that did it?
I don't know. Didn't he see you come this way? I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, the guard's gonna take us back, and he's gonna know that you were still in there when we left.
Mm, I can't let you do that. My honor
Okay.
won't let you take that fall.
All right. Well,
I appreciate it though.
you are brave in the face of certain death, and I appreciate your fortitude.
Well, I am also a little bit selfish. I mean, the five of you, I mean, despite your second tier weapons that you got,
Look,
you look like you might be, you might be able to like make some changes happen. You're our best bet on seeing something change. I don't know. I don't want to see anything bad happen to you. So don't risk it all on me.
Okay, we will build memorials in your honor someday when we have freed, and you're dead and we've freed hither.
Oh. Stop playing that you're gonna die.
That's kind of a nice thought, though. I mean, not the dead part, but I'd like a statue of myself.
I
Perhaps
probably,
we'll even
I'll
put
try.
some.
You know what? I'll make you a statue. I'm good at that stuff. It's gonna be really beautiful, I'm sure.
Even if I'm still alive?
It'll be nice to see a statue of yourself when you're alive.
Yeah.
But if not, we'll see if we can get some of your remains, by the statue, and maybe
I'm always
some of.
talking about them dying. And then why not?
This poor bullywug.
You will be certainly dead when we return. The doggies.
I don't know what else to say other than if there's like a merchant like just behind the hut here if you need to get some new stuff to replace that
Oh.
stuff.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. We'll do that.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Nice to meet you. And then you go outside and you can see Maple is having a conversation with this very eager like bullywug. He's like, oh yeah.
I know his wife's name. We're swapping recipes. It's a whole thing.
Would doggy would Shion and I have like glazed anything from like the book while they were having that conversation?
Yeah. I guess give me an intelligence check. You haven't been. It's only been like maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes, so you haven't had time to read the whole book. But
Okay. Just like a straight intelligence.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Nice.
So Shion, as you've been flipping through this book, it appears that it is written from the perspective of Bavlorna. Like this is her book, like a journal almost. And it spells out all of her enemies in detail. So flipping through,
So does it read kind of like a ledger then?
yeah, like each entry like might be pages and pages long, but it's on like a specific person and like the the reason for her dissatisfaction or hatred toward them, known weaknesses, rumors that she's heard about them, all that kind of stuff. And without spending like too much time, you can kind of flip through it and see that there are some names that maybe would be familiar to you, including Sibilnia, as well as her sisters. So Scabatha Nightshade is listed there, as well as Endlin Moongrave.
Wait, her sisters is in Hags in the Coven.
Yes.
Ooh.
Nightshade, Moongrave.
It's
So
Nightshade and Moongrave? Or sorry, can you say the names one more time?
Endelyn Moongrave and Skabatha Nightshade.
Okay.
And oh, I gotta think hard about what I'm about to say. Sibilnia. And I'll say, like, you'll have to spend time with the book maybe to, like, you'd have to maybe spend considerable time, like, reading it to glean, like, additional information about that, to, like, study it and understand. Because it's all written from her perspective, so it's not laid out, like, super clear, the details, you know, like an encyclopedia would. It's rambling, it's full of gossip. But spending some time with it, you might be able to glean some information from these other characters.
Okay, what I'll plan then is for the next night when we have 8 hours, I'll go ahead and sleep my 4 and then study the book for the other 4.
Yeah, something like that.
So does
Cool.
that mean we should hold back on talking to Lorna so that way we can spend some more time with the book, or what do you guys think?
Yes.
I think so, yeah. Let's talk to this merchant behind this hut. Go back to the
Yeah.
king, tell him we couldn't uncover any more details about the conspiracy yet, but we think that we could tomorrow, and then ask if we can spend the night somewhere.
That's smart. All right.
Does that
I
make
think
sense?
he'll be hospitable
Yeah.
and let us stay here, actually.
Yeah, otherwise
Yeah.
we can just find a new king.
Yep.
Whoa.
All right, oh my
Wait,
gosh.
I'm on it.
All right. So the next destination is the merchant. All right. So, you can go ahead and well, let's see, I can do it. Just kind of move you guys sort of over here so you can
Hide the book.
see.
And then you want goggles.
Sion, hide the book.
Oh, okay. I do so.
Yeah.
I put it in my bag.
Once upon a time, he had that book. He might want it back. Yeah, you don't do that.
Right. Well, to be
Alright.
fair,
Different
though, he
merchant,
wants
right?
us to deliver it. He already gave it to us.
Is this
so-
the same
Oh,
merchant
you mean
that
the
they're talking about?
merchant?
Yeah,
Got you.
the king took it from the merchant. Yep.
I got you. Yes,
Yep.
I'll bag it up.
Whoa.
Ooh.
So, from
That's
out back,
cool.
you can see a big black balloon that floats over the lake, tugging at its moorings. Beneath it hangs a basket made of black wicker and wood, which serve as sort of like a merchant stall, basically, that's tethered to this thing. Um, a large pane of gray glass is drawn closed across the opening above the counter, and there is a sign mounted above the window that reads, "Wondrous Wares and Fair Fares." The balloon, however, is not made of fabric, as you can tell as you start to draw closer to it, but it appears to be a roiling dark rain cloud that has been contained somehow within lines and netting.
That is awesome.
I know.
That
It
It
is
is
really
awesome.
cool.
Very
They
cool.
try.
Do either of you know, any of our magic people know how to do that?
Nope. Not a clue.
I don't think so, but it looks really neat. Maybe I can figure it out somehow.
Yeah, you should learn that. But probably the book study is more important this time. But you know,
Right now.
next on the list, let's learn how to do a storm
Do you have
balloon.
a storm elemental trapped in there? Is that what that is? Oh,
I
that's
think it's
awesome.
just a storm itself. Anywho, sorry. Wow. Should we talk to the merchant? Is there anything cool we can buy from you, merchant man? Person.
So you draw close. You cross over the little bridge that makes its way out there. And as you get close, you can see that there is a sign that hangs just below the counter, where this glass pane is, and it says "Available for a limited time only. Very good thimble. fingertip not included. Mug of Bumble beer has a nice sting to it. Dusk mallow pie with decorative bite marks. Bundle of dry wood, great for starting fires. Ink portraits. If we have to look at you, so should you. Moonlight monocle. No more fumbling in the dark. And you can see behind the counter are these two kind of dark-skinned, kind of pointy-eared looking creatures with, yeah, just kind of dark grayish skin. Um, and male and a female, and they kind of notice you as you approach, and they say, "Oh, good customers, welcome, welcome. What can we do for you today? We got, oh, hey, trinket, trinket, go get the thing, go get the thing." And you can see that the male creature kind of goes off in the back and is kind of rummaging around, and the female she says, "Ah, yes, limited time right now. We have unicorn horn. You looking for a unicorn horn? We got one. Just picked it up the other day. It's super rare. Come, come, come!" And you can see the guy comes up, and he's got this, it's a horn, and it's kind of got this sort of spiral curvature to it, and it's sort of this brilliant kind of pearlescent, multicolored kind of sheen off of it, and they're like putting it right up to like a lantern, oil lantern that they have there. Say, "See, look, ooh, pretty, huh?"
Oh, pretty.
Shion, is that really a unicorn horn?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe? Does it look like a unicorn horn?
Make a, let's say, a nature check.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try that. 9.
It looks real, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Kind of looks like it might be. Hey, are those two dark skinned creatures, are they drow? And if so, do I recognize them?
They are not drow.
Okay.
They. Mm-mm. Might have a little picture for you. They kind of look like the one on the left.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Spooky.
Not sure what they are. Okay.
So you like?
Wow.
You want to buy?
What costs a unicorn horn?
I think we. How about the rhythm to your step, your dance moves? I want those. Well, I don't know. I want to see them first, but yeah, maybe your dance moves.
No.
One of these kind of.
You can have my dance moves, but you cannot see them first.
Whoa.
How about, and then he like points
You're
at
good at
Maple.
this.
You got good rhythm? Can you keep a
Yeah.
beat? Yeah?
Sure. But I'm not looking for a unicorn horn.
Oh.
I'm looking for a pendant. It had a nautiloid in the center. I lost it a long time ago. It might be somewhere in Prismere. You know about that? We can talk about my dance moves.
Okay.
Or a doll
Pendant?
made of hair.
What does it look like?
Well, it's about this big, and it's got a little nautiloid, like a shell piece that comes out in a circle. It used to be my brother's.
Oh. Okay, I'll get that for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come back, let's say 2 days?
I don't see why that would be a problem.
Okay. And then I get your nice rhythm?
Yeah, I know how to play a drum, so it's yours.
I want to. Can you? I see you boogie.
Sure. And there's like, she sways. She's flapping her wings. See? And I do a spin.
Make a performance check.
Cool. That adds up. Yeah, that makes sense.
You gotta re-roll that. You can't.
No,
have
I'm
that.
not. That is
Reroll. We have
perfect.
tons of rerolls.
I fly right into whatever
You
rigging
could
is
get-
there.
You could get your
Like-
pendant.
like, boom, right into whatever's holding the.
Yeah,
I just got
looks pretty
excited about-
Good. You sure you didn't already make a trade with someone before you come here?
Oh no, that's
That's
I really play the
natural.
drums. I don't dance so much, but that's where the rhythm is. Yeah,
Oh. Okay.
I
Yeah.
can try again.
No, I've seen enough. It's good.
Is
That's
it
okay.
2 days, or is that not a thing now?
Let me see your eyes. You have nice big eyes. Oh,
I get
they're so
close?
big. What color are these eyes I'm looking at? I don't know different types of color until you say it to me, because I don't see color.
Oh, that's too bad. Well,
Yeah.
they're like a crystal. They're like a crystal blue. At least that's
Oh,
what people
blue,
tell
huh?
me. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
blue. Yeah, blue. We got a couple of orders for blue, yeah? Okay. Okay,
Are you
color
gonna
of your
take my
eyes. I take
eyes?
your no, just need the color. I take the color of your eyes for your pendant.
2 days.
2 days.
Okay.
Okay, we got a deal. This is good.
Wait. Okay. Yeah.
Is this actually gonna be the actual pendant, or are you
Of
just gonna make
course.
something that looks similar to it?
Why would I do that? No,
You wouldn't
all of
do
our
that.
stuff is 100% authentic.
Saw you, a little bit of a shifty eye there. I wasn't.
What?
Is that,
It's not a
Twitch?
yeah, that. What is that? Is that a?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you're doing a thing with your eyes.
Look, I
It's
can't
like-
see the color of your eyes. You tell me it's blue. I trust you. I don't ask any questions.
That is up. That makes sense.
Does it? I don't know if it does.
He knows where my pendant is.
Does he?
That's
Are
when
you
That's when
sure?
Maple looks at Chion and she's like, Doesn't he?
I don't think so.
Hey,
How
you
much
looking
for
for
one of
something
these?
too?
Yes,
Hmm.
Sam.
What are you looking for?
I
I
don't
can
think
get it
it's
for
here
you.
though. No, I don't think it's here. I've already been told around where it might be. So I'm good. Thank you.
Oh, Vish is looking for something though. Vish, do you want to tell them what you're looking for?
Mm-hmm. Can
Wait.
I?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100%. This is like the absolute appropriate time to have done to do it.
Oh, see, I was unsure.
I mean, now I'm unsure.
Okay, here we go. Tinker toes. Have you
Tinker
cleaned them
Toes.
first?
No, but I can get them for you.
How? That's the question. How?
Oh, if I told you that, then you wouldn't
Then
need me
I'll
to get
avoid-
them for you.
This guy's really smart.
Oh, what? Is it that simple?
Mhm.
And they'll be mine.
Your tools? Yeah. 3 days.
The one my grandpa gave me?
Mm-hmm. Pink ribbon.
How did you know?
I don't know. You were telling somebody in that hut right there.
Oh. I figured.
Have spread the
Oh, wow,
story. I can
did-
understand
I
how.
am told them a bit loud. Sorry.
See how the story would have gotten out. Yeah, that makes sense.
What can you give me, though?
Do you want a bag?
You got gills, huh? Gills?
You want his gills?
I want your water breathing. You can breathe underwater, yeah?
Yeah? Why would you want that?
Breathe underwater. Pretty cool, huh? I bet somebody want that. I'm a wheel. I like to wheel. I like to deal. You know.
I don't think you should give that up. I don't think you should give that up.
kind of scary. How are you gonna take? You're gonna cut. You're gonna cut them out from me?
No, no. He kind of looks around and he like picks up. He picks up a spoon. He says, "With this, ha ha."
I don't know if that makes it any better.
Yeah, I put. Oh yeah, it looks like I'm gonna scoop out your gill parts, huh? No,
Uh-huh.
That's
I'm not gonna do
horrible.
that. I'm just gonna put the water breathing. I don't know. It's magic. I don't know how. I can't explain that. But I put it on this object, and then I have water breathing, and I can give that to somebody, and then they have it.
I just think of the dude who's like, he's like, I don't know, it's magic.
I don't know. It's magic.
Do you
I
ever
got,
see?
I got
Do you ever
explain
see?
anything.
Do you ever see? Do you ever see? Kinku? You ever deal with Kinku?
Yeah, I got some. I know some kenku. What do you need? What do you want?
Someone? Do you ever give someone a
Oh.
voice?
Yeah, voice magic, steal voices, take voices, trade voices. Yeah, you can do that. I can do that for you. Whose voice do you want? Kenku voice?
You've done that before?
Uh, once or twice. I've done that. You know, Kenku are always they're always looking for voices. They're always coming to me saying, "Hey, you know Jim or you know John? Do you have his voice?"
Why didn't
And
they
then
say it before?
Then I do the
they
same
got
thing
the
I say to you. I
voice?
say, "Oh, give me 2 days. Give me 3 days. I could get him a voice of some guy that sounds kind of like John or whatever."
Wait a second.
Wait,
So
kind
not
of sounds
John's
like
voice, though.
John.
So you're telling me you can't promise these two their things are going to be their same things. They're going to be things that are kind of like their things.
Well, I'm pretty sure, and he's like pointing at Maple. I'm pretty sure that one I can actually get.
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
So you are probably have a beat on where it is.
Maybe.
Okay, interesting.
These are really important to us. Why won't you just help us and be nice to us?
Because
He's a merchant.
I'm a
That's what
merchant.
merchants do.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no such thing as a
she
nice
gets it.
merchant. Don't
You're
worry.
jerk
Hey.
merchants? You're not nice?
I was a
Hey.
merchant for a while.
You're nice. You're nice though.
Thanks.
Maybe she was a nice merchant.
Got to make a living.
Yeah, it's soul living.
So there's no like actual. You're taking our abilities for our things.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, it's up to you.
I would rather not.
Oh.
But you don't trade anything else? Like, I don't know, my lucky fingernail or something?
You've got a lucky fingernail?
Yeah,
Let's see
I
it.
found it. Okay.
You found it? It's not on you?
No, I was at the beach one day and I saw it in the sand and I figured this is my lucky fingernail.
You
Okay.
go down to the beach and you collect fingernails?
I mean, they're not as
Uh,
lucky as
it-
my fingernails that are still on my fingers.
I mean, if you see a fingernail in the sand, then that's pretty lucky, I think.
yeah. If you were looking for a
Maybe.
fingernail, and
Is this
you
weird?
Found it.
Is this gross? You steal people's
No,
thief like abilities and you're judging me because of my lucky
Yeah, but those are
fingernail?
useful. What is this? What am I going to do with this fingernail? I mean, this is
It's
going to be a real
lucky.
hard thing to
It's
move.
luck. Yes, it's hard to find a Go down to the beach and find a fingernail in the sand for me and tell me.
Then come back to me.
Come back to
Okay.
me and tell me if it. Then
2 days.
How easy that was.
I don't know. I've been at this a long time, man, and I never. No one asked me for fingernails. I guess if someone asks me that, I'll come find you,
Okay.
and we'll make a deal.
Maybe Maple, if you're okay doing it, maybe I wait. If they could
come with this deal, then maybe I might be willing to give up that for that. It's really
If he can
important.
actually find my pendant, I'm okay with that. But Arlo's got a point. He might just be making it up.
Well, you will know when you see the pendant.
That
This
is
deal
very
is
true.
not complete until he has officially accepted that what you're giving him is what he wanted, correct?
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah. So in 2 days, we come back here. And if that pendant is really the pendant you desired it to be, then whatever sacrifice you feel is appropriate is definitely appropriate. No one can judge the importance of that lost item but you.
Yeah. Luckily, it's only my eye color. I don't have to give up my dance moves.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you can get contacts now anyway. So
Yeah, Druid craft, prestidigitation, we're good.
yeah.
I mean, I value my eye color deeply, and I'm willing to sacrifice my eye color for the pendant.
Woe is me.
What a loss!
My vanity.
Oh, it's okay. I don't care if you want your eye color
Right.
or not. I just need it. It's cool.
That makes merchant right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are there other things you're looking for? Can I help you?
Um,
I'm good.
are we under the impression that this is the merchant that sold that book?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point.
I wonder what the bullywug had to give up to get the book. I don't think I'll ask him because then they know we have it. But if they're asking for like people's skills and color, I wonder what he had to get the book.
Was there anything? Maybe that's why he was wearing really puffy clothing. Maybe he had no body left. He just took his body.
Whoa!
I got no body. I got no body.
Is that? Are we like in a huddle right now, out of earshot?
He's
That's
just a head fingers.
That's a good point. If he could get that book, he can get anything. But there's a price to pay after he gets it. Like this isn't completely a hoax. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Do you get the feeling that maybe he works for her and he's returning to her place to get items and then
No, I think
coming over?
if he got that book, she didn't want him to get that book, so he can get anything. But whoever owns it's coming for it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's nothing left to do but find out. I don't think. Should we go back to the king and ask if we can spend the night, and then we go talk to the lady in the morrow, and then we come back and we spend one more night, and then we come back to the vendor? Is this the way things are shaking out here? Is that what everybody's kind of thinking, or what's the story?
I think we should hang out here and see if we need to see the lady. Because if our items appear here with the merchant, why would we go see the lady? Besides to deliver a few items.
Yeah, but if
Right,
that
we
works,
have-
she's gonna come to us.
Right, but we need to
That's
find.
entirely possible.
We need to find
I get-
Sue, or we need to deliver stuff for Sue and for
Uh-huh.
King Gullop the 19.
Single. Yeah, I'm willing to play test this. I want to see if that it actually is the item. Yeah, I know it's 2 days, but Maple definitely wants to do that.
I think we should definitely stay in the vicinity. I don't think we should travel further.
So
I think we
you
should hang around the kingdom.
So you want to stay here in the kingdom for 2 days
Yep.
before we go talk to her?
Absolutely.
This is obviously a traveling merchant, or is he going to be here in 2 days? Might be the next question. How are we going to find him?
Well, you said you'd.
You
Hey.
said he'd be back in 2 days, right?
Hey, you gonna be here in 2 days?
Yeah, 2 days.
To normal,
Yeah, here.
like here in 2 days.
Yeah, 2 sleeps
Like
Two
here
sleeps.
though.
right here. Hmm.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
that was the important question.
Every time he says yes, I think he's saying no. I don't understand why. I trust him
not
less and
really
less with each answer, guys. And I'm out loud about this. Like she'll like floating and pacing at the same time. Like
Yeah.
I get. It's like say it again and I'll believe you. I don't. There's something not right here.
Yeah, people say that about me all the time. right?
Well, you had
And they kind of converse. Yeah, yeah, I hear that. They say that about you. They say it about me. Yeah,
you
yeah. People
prove
don't trust
yourself in
us.
2 days, boys.
Oh, we were very reliable. We're very good at what we do. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you
2 days. See you then.
Yeah.
here 2 days.
We'll see
Right
in
here.
2 days.
Two
Definitely.
steps.
Under
Whatever
this cloud,
happens.
and there's like lightning.
Under this cloud, at this spot, in this city, where we have met before, at this spot.
Yes, like literally here.
Yes, right here.
Hit
He
there.
just draws like a little square around him. Yep.
No,
Hither.
there.
I don't even want to hear about Jan. Just
At this
Heather.
dock.
right,
I like
right
to-
hither.
I like to imagine like we're all like trying, like we're all backing away from each other. We're like, here.
You're trying
No,
to pin him
here,
down
here.
to say something like very specific, and he's like, oh, he always like twisted a little bit.
I couldn't give a straight answer if he wanted to. Love this guy. Okay, let's find out what happens. I'm excited.
All right. So
Yikes.
your plan is to stay like within. You're going back out to the inn, or are you staying here in the in Downfall?
No, I think we just stay here and ask
Yeah.
King Bullywug if we can hang out here for a couple days.
Can go up the 19th.
Yes. It basically absolutely puts you up and give you a place to stay within the palace.
I will offer to be his bodyguard for
I
some
will
of that time.
read over those couple of days.
I will meditate over those couple of days.
And if it's
I'll
any
make-
help, if it's any
I'll
help
make-
to shown, that's probably what Lynn would be doing. Is just like taking notes or like looking through pages when she needs to rest. And
I'll make
Back and forth.
stilts.
yes, I will be tall.
I was also interested in fixing that balloon. That poor guy looks like he was having a problem with that balloon.
The
When we came in, there was a balloon that they were trying to patch up.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I
Yeah,
wonder if
so-
balloon is like a common way of travel. Sorry.
Well, we saw the one.
Mhm.
You saw the one, and then you saw this weird storm-like one.
This one's awesome.
We got to figure with the rise and the fall of the tides, they need to have something that rides above, so it would make sense to travel by balloon.
This does make sense. Good.
So, you're all basically like kind of taking watches and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm. No,
Why?
all of us but Fish are taking
Why?
watches.
Yeah, I could do that. I take watches.
This time, young one, you do not get to do the watch duties.
Last time
Next
he took watch,
time.
he found an inn. It worked out.
Yeah, I didn't go nowhere.
I'm trying to say something that's helping, but it's obviously not helping. like,
the last
Last-
time she didn't listen.
and look what happened. Nothing but good.
I was okay. I
We
was
got
here.
jumped.
So during Arlo's watch, there's like a stone that like gets tossed up through a window and has a piece of parchment wrapped around it, and it like lands with a thud in the room where you're staying.
Good.
And
So that was Arlo, right?
that was on
Yeah.
Arlo's watch. Yep.
Yeah. So I read it. Does it say anything interesting?
It says, "Find Illig, the Baron of Muckstump, at once. The revolution lives."
Illig, the Baron of Muckstump?
Yeah.
Once.
And I think that will be where we end the session, is with you getting that note.
Viva la revolution.
So if I got your plan right, the next day you were basically maybe just going to kind of bum around town a little bit and just kind of keep your eyes and ears open, just not looking to go pay a visit to Lorna quite yet, just kind of biding your time. You're going to see if the merchant can pay off for you. So our next session will probably be mostly this next day, kind of seeing maybe what you do with that note, if there's anything you do with that, just kind of visiting with people here in Downfall, and then waiting for that second day to come around to see if the merchant can do something for you or not.
And reading the book.
And reading the book, yeah.
Trying to read the entire dang book.
So I'll say you can study basically like one topic or one piece of it like intently to kind of try to sort through the information best you can. Is there a piece that you want to focus on this first night?
She kind of has everybody written into. I'll read about Sibilna. We'll focus on her for a while.
Okay.
I was gonna ask maybe if there's anything about Sibilna, because that could be handy.
There is, and I got.
Tim, can I make a recommendation?
Yep.
The author is the hag we're going to visit, right?
Yes.
So it might be more about the author than it is about the topic. Like instead of the stuff you're reading, you might be able to glean something about the author by reading her work.
Like read between the
like
lines.
the
own
words that she
fears
uses
might-
and whatnot.
Right.
Yes.
Her own rhythm and her own words might show something about her. In
Absolutely.
addition to, keep an eye on that.
That's
Definitely.
smart.
Like she's cruel, cold-hearted, doesn't care about anybody, willing to kill people for
Yeah,
her
Stereotypical
own
hag
Kind of
right
how
there,
she
yeah.
writes, how she writes about others. She
Mhm.
give a good insight as to how she is. That makes a lot of sense.
Or she
It's
just
possible.
misunderstood. And
That could
everyone's out together.
Poor thing. Muffin, it's so hard to be you.
So definitely you'll figure out pretty easily without the deep dive in that between her and the other two sisters, like, she talks shit about one of them with like the other. Like she's like,
Perfect.
it's like this weird, three sisters, they all have their hang-ups with each other and like they bully like the odd one out, but they're all kind of doing it to each other.
Okay.
So that becomes really clear. Like it's all like, well, I heard from, Nightshade that blah 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 blah, and then like says the same thing about the other one. Like
So
it's
sibling
just,
rivalry, definitely.
yeah.
Okay.
But you're gonna focus on Zybilnia.
Yep.
And I guess I'll leave you with a couple of pieces that I feel confident telling you is that Zybilna is also a sibling, but an adopted sibling.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. Juicy deets.
Not by blood. Gotcha.
Not by
I
blood.
didn't know you could get out of that. Wait. All right, I'm geeking out over here. That's all. I'm like, what?
Well, I was
And-
adopted, so I find that incredibly interesting.
No, I mean, are we talking about an ex-hag? Is that a thing? I had no idea Perkins would do that, though. I'm geeking out over here. I'll be all right.
Their mother is Baba Yaga.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't know they were from Russia.
What?
So
Well,
there's
that's fair,
some
actually.
details like that you'll find out, and probably that name doesn't mean anything to your character, but
No, not
Oh,
at all.
definitely
No,
not.
not a clue.
but yeah, there'll be some stuff that I'll give you at the beginning of the next session about what you learn from this.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
So
Oh, that's great. That's good stuff.
yeah, I have to stop saying stuff there so I don't.
I
I have
And
to
do
double check
tell
my
the rest.
facts.
Take
Yeah.
a couple more drinks of that beer, and what else did you have to say?
Yeah, what was that about? Yeah. Hey.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
wait. We'll wait
does
for those
Sibilna have a
reveals.
car?
So, well, thanks everyone for hanging out with us here tonight. We'll be back again next week. Same time, same place, 7:30 on Tuesdays, and we'll see where the adventure picks up from here. Other things that are happening on the channel this week. Tomorrow night at 7, we've got Dragonlance, Rise of the Magistrate with Dave. That'll be at 7 p.m. Thursday night at like about 7. I don't know. We're kind of Thursdays. It's pretty kind of loose when we start, but it'll probably be about 7:30. We're going to be playing some Back for Blood.
For blood.
Yeah, so we'll be playing that. And then Friday night, we've got another community campaign game. So we'll be playing Temple of Elemental Evil. And we got at least one new player, so that's exciting. So come and check out what's going on with that. I think they're going to go basilisk hunting, is what they were talking about. So they're going to try to get some basilisk tears so that they can depetrify burn finally. And it's session 23.
Finally, that sounds interesting.
Yes, it's been a while. He's been petrified for a while. So all right, let's see. Do we have any friends that we could go and raid? Well, it looks like Goodman Games is streaming. So let's raid them and say hi. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you all soon.
Take care, guys. Have a good week.
Bye.
Have a good night. Have a good week.